Hey there, it's Dr. Justin Marchegiani. It's been a while. I'm glad to be back here in the saddle. Today's talk's going to be on pre and post-workout nutrition, as well as how to combine that with your exercise optimally. And again, this is a little abbreviation from a podcast I did recently with Dr. Tom Balella. So feel free and head over to Beyond Wellness Radio and make sure you check out our podcast coming up, especially our podcast by Dr. Tom. Again, I'm going to give you some highlights of what the most optimal pre and post-workout nutrition, some of the things that I do currently in my health routine. All right, so let's dig in. So off the bat, we have our pre-workout. Pre-workout, this is the half-hour window before the workout where you're getting your nutrition dialed in. Now, there's a couple different scenarios. There are people who are overweight and they're trying to optimize fat burning. And there are people that maybe are already at a really good weight and they're trying to optimize muscle mass and hypertrophy. So a couple different scenarios. Off the bat, about 10 to 20 grams of protein is okay pre-workout. Again, regarding carbohydrate, up to about 20 grams or so pre-workout can be beneficial. If you're going for performance, CrossFit, definitely some more heavy intense Olympic lifts or more compounded movements like squats and lunges and deadlifts, maybe a little bit of carbohydrate, up to 20 grams before. You can go between 10 and 20 grams of protein before workout. Generation UCAN, it's actually UCAN, Generation UCAN, it's a very slow burning carbohydrate that won't have any insulin spikes. So if you have insulin resistant issues, this is a great slow burning carbohydrate. Again, 4 to 6 grams of branched chain aminos can be used during. Again, we'll come to that in 1 second. So regarding the pre-workout, the carbohydrates I consider to be negligible. And again, it depends what time of the day, right? If we're doing a workout first thing in the morning and your goal really is fat loss, as long as you're keeping your workouts down to about 30 minutes, I'm fine doing just amino acids in the morning for breakfast. I'm totally fine with that. Again, we're trying to optimize fat burning. Let's say there's a little bit of insulin resistance happening. Your cells are numb to insulin, so you're becoming a fat storing machine and not a fat burning machine. We really want to lower those insulin levels. So restricting carbohydrate can be a great opportunity for that. Also, the whole role of building muscle and increasing muscle synthesis is to help with insulin sensitivity. Your muscle is your natural sponge for glucose in the bloodstream. So the more that sponge is wrung out, you can soak up more glucose in the bloodstream. So that wrung out sponge is like contracting your muscle, right? You contract your muscles, that's going to wring that sponge out. That's going to allow you to sop up that glucose in the bloodstream. Less glucose sitting out in the bloodstream, the less your liver and your pancreas have to work to buffer that blood sugar swing. So pre and post workout, up to 10 to 20 grams. Branched chain amino acids can be used during your workout. All right, they can be used during. Up to about 4 to 6 grams during is perfect. What are branched chain amino acids? I love leucine. Leucine about 2 grams, and then you have about a gram and a half or so of the valine, and leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So these are the major branched chain amino acids. Leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And again, these amino acids are special because they can go right to your muscle and they can be utilized for fuel right away. Most amino acids actually have to go to your liver. They have to go through a process known as gluconeogenesis. Gluco meaning blood glucose, neo meaning new, genesis meaning new glucose forming. So it has to get formed from glucose and then go back out, spit out to the liver into general circulation. Now you have glucose to burn. So you're not actually burning fuel, burning the protein, you're actually burning the buffer byproducts of the glucose from the protein. So what does that mean? Branched chain amino acids help keep our body anabolic, putting on muscle, because our muscles can utilize those amino acids, the leucine, isoleucine, and valine, right away. Doesn't have to go through the whole entire liver gluconeogenesis pathway. So 4 to 6 grams of BCAAs. Again, I have one that I formulated. A lot of BCAAs have Splenda or aspartame in it, because if you try BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, without a sweetener in there, they are nasty, really bad. So branched chain amino acid synergy is a great one. I'll put the link in the annotation so you can access it. 1 to 2 scoops should be enough, and it's sweetened with stevia, no artificial flavors. It's the one that I use myself personally. Next, post-workout nutrition. Well, let's skip this. Let's skip number 2. Let's go into the exercises. So we're going pre-workout and then we'll go post-workout. So the exercises, what are we doing? Well, really simply, we're going to be doing compound functional movements. We're going to be doing squats, bending movements. We're going to be doing deadlifts. We're going to be doing, sitting and bending movements, squats and deadlifts. We're going to be doing lunging, right? One leg type of movement. So we have a lot of lower body, single leg bending, single leg squatting, or I should say double leg bending, double leg squatting. We have single leg movements with the lunge. Now we have push movements. That can be pressing bench press, push-ups, incline, decline, cables, free weights from all the different angles. We have pullings. That could be a row movement. It could be a straight row. It could be a dumbbell row, or a barbell row from a decline angle. It could be a lat pull down where your palms are facing away, or a chin up where your palms are facing to you. It could be presses, military press, right in front, and obviously single, this isn't a compound movement, but you have barbell curls as well as dumbbell curls. So you have pulling in this plane, pushing in this plane, and all of the individual angles. So we have bending, squatting, lunging, we have pushing and pulling movements. Now we have rotating or twisting movements. This could be a punching bag, this could be a cable pull from high to low, or from low to high, or from straight across. Medicine balls against the wall, high to low cables, low to high cables. So we have the lunging, we have the gait, or we have the sprints. So we have high interval training after that. So we could be Tabata type of training on a rower. It could be plyometric sprints, explosive movements. It could even be just interval sprints out in your backyard, or even using a bike or an elliptical. High intensity as fast as you can go, relaxation, rest and relax. So again, those are your kind of 7 to 8 primal movements: squatting, bending, lunging, pushing, pulling, twisting, and then sprinting, gait, interval, or walking. So that kind of gives you, that's an a la Paul Chek primal movement pattern type of exercise that you can incorporate to your program. Now, post-workout, what do? Typically about 2 to 1 carbohydrate. And again, that depends, right? Like myself, I keep it closer to 1 to 1. So I may throw a little bit of fruit in a shake, and I may do a really good shake with 30 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs. If you're leaner and you're doing a lot of intense workout, you may want to throw up your carbs a little higher and go to that 2 to 1 ratio. If you're more like doing a lot of biking and such, and a lot more aerobic type of movement, maybe up to 4 to 1. But I typically oscillate between 2 to 1 to 1 to 1. Ideally 1 to 1, because I'm more on the side of being insulin resistant. But carbs are super helpful because carbohydrates post-workout increase insulin, which is good because if our stress hormones are high like cortisol, insulin can actually help buffer that high levels of cortisol, and it can also help improve growth hormone levels post-workout because insulin and growth hormone work together, right? Growth hormone and insulin, like growth factor, kind of potentiate each other. So growth hormone kind of goes to the liver and gets activated via IGF-1, and that has a lot of effects on building muscle. A lot of good things. Why is muscle good? Makes you more insulin sensitive in the long run. In the short run, obviously the workout, you're going to be a little bit more insulin resistant, obviously for good reasons, because you're trying to get muscle and get the glucose and the sugar to the muscles to work out. So other parts of the body may be more insulin resistant, makes sense. But overall, we're trying to make your body more insulin sensitive globally. The better you burn sugar for fuel, the more you're going to burn fat throughout the day steadily as your primary fuel source. So outside of that, we went over all the exercise. Again, what are things you can do on top of that? Electrolytes and glucose during the workout can be super helpful. Anywhere up to 20 grams of glucose during the workout. You could even throw some branched chain aminos instead of doing it pre. You could even do it during as well. And then 10 grams of creatine. Creatine's phenomenal because it helps increase growth hormone levels. I like a Cre-alkaline creatine. Creatine also helps drive in muscle, or drive in fluid and hydration into the muscle. So muscles start to swell, become a little bigger, and that hydration helps blunt catabolic physiology. It helps blunt your muscle being broken down faster. So it helps put on more muscle, and that first 6 seconds of an exercise movement is primarily going to be the phosphocreatine pathways. So that's the first 6 seconds. So if you're doing a really explosive movement for performance or for trying to PR, a personal record, having good creatine in there up to 10 grams can be super helpful for optimal muscle contraction. Again, figure out where you're at, right? You kind of have people that are getting into the exercise of it. Just exercise. Have a good post-workout shake and a good pre-workout meal, you're fine. If you want to get fine-tune it, add in some BCAAs, add some creatine, dial in your pre and post-workout, add some branched-chain amino acids during the workout, add some electrolytes if you want to, fine-tune your carbohydrate. If you're leaner, play around more with the carbs. If you're more heavier or on the insulin resistant side, lower your carbohydrates. Figure out what your goals are. Is it more performance? Is it just to look better naked? Is it just overall health? Figure out where you're at. Maybe it's a combination of all three. Figure out where you're at. I hope these tips really helped. Again, for more great information coming your way, click on screen to subscribe. Click below if you're struggling with your health, with your hormones, with your digestion, and you're not quite sure what the next steps are. Click below and schedule a consult with myself, Dr. J. Again, more great videos coming your way. Thanks. Have a great night.